Today I'm going to share with you some of the insights and techniques that I've learned over 20 years of pranayama practice in a more modern setting. We might call that breathwork. And so hopefully there are some little cues, some techniques, some tips in here that really transform your practice and give you a deeper understanding of how to breathe in a very functional manner and a very efficient manner. Overall, this isn't limited to pranayama or yogic breathing or breath work. This is really the foundation of how to utilize your diaphragm and all of your accessory breathing muscles just in a really functional way. And through that, the efficiency of the body is heightened in really every single form, from everything that your nervous system touches. So the entire function of your body. I know it sounds unbelievable, but there isn't anything in the body's systems that pranayama or yogic breathing or diaphragmatic breathing doesn't touch, from functionality of digestion, oxygenation of your muscles, mood, hormonal influence, the length and quality of your brain waves and the function of your mind, your memory. The list is very extensive. Lots more information on that to come on this channel, so stay tuned. But let's get stuck into some of these techniques. Start by finding a comfortable seated position, one where your lower back is somewhat lifted, just so you're not crunching down on your belly space. You might like to shut down your eyes, and we really want to make the breath more of a felt experience, more so than an intellectual experience. So feel free to get comfy, shut down your eyes, and start to tune into the feeling of your breath. And as you adjust the quality of your attention, we can start to refine the breath in just a slightly different way. You can feel the movements and the goings on of the breath. Let's go ahead and start to slowly and gently begin to deepen the breath. As you do this, imagine that you can breathe down towards your lower back, not your belly space. Just as a visualization, just as an idea. So as you're breathing down into your lower back, see if you can allow it to expand sideways into your side bodies. Rise up the side bodies, and then centralize the breath into the sternum, the middle of the chest. And so we're going slow, just little bits to add on as we go through this process. The breath comes down to the lower back, it rises into the side body, centralizes into the sternum, middle of the chest, and you feel a slight lift on the rib cage, forward and up. Now, it's critical in this process that your shoulders stay absolutely soft. Don't let your shoulders lift at all. Keep on going with this, and we'll just keep on adding little bits onto this. Now, the spine doesn't move. Imagine that your spine is like you're sitting up against a wall. So there's no curvature, there's no movement in the spine as you're breathing. The breath should be comfortably full, not excessively full. I'm sure you could breathe deeper if you tried, but that's not really the point here. So we breathe in, we take it down to the lower back, we let it rise sideways, and then up into the middle of the chest as the rib cage kind of tilts forward and up. As you exhale, just start by slowing it down. Start by smoothing it out. And I think that's really the key to the exhalation, this gradual, gentle contraction of what's otherwise a passive movement for the diaphragm. And so here it becomes a much more active movement of the diaphragm. Now, just as a point of reference, and it doesn't have to be perfect, see if you can breathe in for about 5 seconds and breathe out for about 5 seconds. Now, if it's a little longer, like 6 or 7 seconds, or a little shorter, say around 4 seconds, all good. Just see if you can create consistency from the inhale to the exhale. And more than that, you're finding a sense of smoothness, easiness, almost an effortlessness with this process. So again, this whole process should be comfortable and pleasant. Let's take this a little bit further into some other things that I've experienced that have really helped me out in my course of practice over about 20 years. Concentrate now on your nostrils. Rather than imagining that your breath is coming up your nostrils, think of your breath going from your nose straight backwards into your head. Notice it change what happens in your ribs. I mean, fundamentally speaking, biologically speaking, the nostrils just go straight back into the head. They don't actually go upward into the nose. And so as you start to feel this movement of the breath coming back into the head and then pretty much making a turn down into the throat, let this process be really gentle. So you're not trying to suck the breath in from the nose. You're trying to move the breath down into the body. Imagine that there's a feather on your top lip. As you breathe in, you're trying not to suck that feather into your nostrils. And as you breathe out, you're trying to delicately balance that feather on the top lip without it blowing off. Now, don't be too extreme with this. Be gentle in the process, but notice it refine the breath to, I think, a totally different level. The best way I can describe it is almost like you feel like you're breathing quietly. There's this deep gentleness to it. It also removes a lot of the strain and effort. And so more than anything, it changes the intention. It changes the quality of the mind in the way that you're approaching your breathing. It's not a task or a chore or even an activity. It becomes more of a state of being. Hopefully you're still working with your conscious, slowed down breath. And that's really the key, that it's not necessarily a deeper breath, but it's a slower breath. Notice that the depth becomes a function of the pace. And so this establishes the foundation for every other style of breathing practice that we can do. And this one alone has an incredible potency of keeping the body healthy. One of the biggest problems we have in this day and age is over-breathing. Most people breathe too much. This is pretty inefficient for the body, and over time is making the heart work a lot harder than it needs to. And if you think of the heart just like a pump, just like any pump, the more it works, the quicker it wears out. And so here, we're establishing a much slower rhythm of breath. We're giving a little bit of an ease or a break for the heart or the work that the heart does, and yet still keeping these patterns of the body highly efficient. In fact, a greater saturation of oxygen is offloaded into the body, into the tissues of the body, via this slowed down style of breathing. There's more of an opportunity for each breath to transfer the good stuff in and bring the bad stuff out of the body. So hopefully this helps, these little refinements, but if I can summarize it really quickly, down into the lower back, expand into the side body. Don't let your belly pop out. Keep it receptive to the breath, but not pushing the belly out. There's no need to push your belly. Let it rise up into the ribs, lifting forwards and upward. The shoulders staying soft and the spine feeling like it's a firm structure that the breath expands around. Your exhale becomes smoother, gentler, and slightly slower. And this is basically your yogic breathing. I hope this helps. I hope there are some little tips in there, some little cues that maybe add to what you already know and have just maybe refined it. Maybe it's all new information and it's going to take a little bit of practice. But either way, I hope this is helpful. So love to hear what shifted, if anything shifted. If you want some more clarity around something, please absolutely make a comment below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Till next time. See you soon.